What's up, fight fans? Your boy P. Welsh here, bringing to you UFC Fight Night. Strickland versus Fluffy Hernandez. Coming off a 9-2 week, and a week off. We're in the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, big arena. Starting off in the women's flyweight division, Juliana Miller 5-3 versus Carly Judice 5-2. Couple KO wins for Judice, probably be a pretty big method. And Miller, not as impressive. So I mean, Judice big favorite here. Miller's been knocked out by Santos, and Judice throws freaking haymakers, man. She's really tough. So unless Miller kind of gets to the ground with Judice, I don't, I think it is it seems like a favorite kind of card. It's still very weird with the UFC right now. That 6-week break, I feel like, is throwing a lot of my, a lot of everything off in a way. But I like Carly Judice here big time. I think she can get the finish. I think she can get it early. And, yeah, let's go Judice. Next up, featherweight bout, Jordan Levitt, 12-3 versus Yadir Davale, 10-0, coming off the rigged win. I can't believe they even counted that, eh? Yeah, other than that, not a lot of experience for Davale going against Jordan Levitt, who is very experienced. And now, do I really expect him to get anything? I don't know, man. You can't really believe in it, right? But I can see a world where Jordan Levitt is just a more experienced, better fighter on the day, right? I think it's one of those spots where I won't officially pick Levitt, but it's one of those spots where I think it can get really spicy really fast. With these big favorites just not being in there. So I'll probably take a little sprinkle on like Levitt by decision, just because if there's the case that he's just a better fighter on the day, where maybe he, his ground game is a little bit more substantial and he can actually outbox the guy. I don't necessarily believe that, but I don't I don't want to discredit it, because there are certain things. I'm just trying to check the live line on it, because sometimes these like minus 400s, if they start creeping into the 300s and then like even the low 300s, it's the CLV that I like to see that makes me believe in an upset. So we'll see what happens here. It's one of those spots where I think Levitt's a live dog, but not like we'll see how it goes over the course of the week. But official pick is Davale, because I think he's just probably got better ground game, but he's really never been tested like this, especially if his last loss is anything as it is, versus the guys Levitt's been in there, or Patty Pemblett, Chase Hooper, they're not bad guys. I mean, Hollabaugh, and that's another thing, is his wins aren't much of anything either. Trey Ogden, Victor Martinez, Kurt Hollabaugh, so this is definitely one of his best opponents. So let's see if he gets a win, or if this is going to be a Davale come out show. I got Davale by third round / decision. Next up, welterweight Phil Rowe versus Jean-Paul Labuschagne. Dude, I'm so bad at names. We got Jean-Paul making his debut versus Phil Rowe, coming off a loss. Looked pretty bad in his loss, too. Didn't have that typical Phil Rowe, he just got taken down for 3 rounds. So, is Jean-Paul going to do that to Phil Rowe? There's always a chance. You got to hope that, that's his game, is submission. So, I have to assume Phil Rowe is going to be better at takedown defense, but man, I really don't want to hang my hat on that. And I could definitely see him getting subbed out in a way, just because if he makes a mistake, and this guy is good enough, it's a spot that I might be thinking that's going to actually happen. It's Phil Rowe always loses the first round. And if you use the first round to a grappler, and you're not a good grappler, there's a good chance you get subbed out, right? Like, it's something like, what was this situation? Now, this is giving this guy a lot of credit, Jean-Paul, but it was Zala versus Emmett. You know what I mean? Literally nothing was thrown. It was one takedown, one submission. It could happen something like that, where Phil Rowe doesn't even get a chance to get. That's what I kind of see happening in a way, just because it's like you can't trust these fighters to start. What happened to Charles Johnson? You know what I mean? Oh, the guys notoriously lose round 1. Well, at some point you're gonna get finished in round 1. I think that way what's happened here. I like first round sub by Jean-Paul. I just think Phil Rowe just gets caught somewhere. Like, I thought his length would be good against Ko, but I mean, Khabib over there, put him this 3 rounds, and I think Jean Paul's got way better submission game. So that's where we're going here. Next up, welterweight bout: Ramis Bramimaj versus Palina Soriano. Palihi. Soriano 12-4, coming off 2 nice wins. Bramimaj getting a nice win on the last time out. That was a good finish against Veneford. Billy Ray Golf before that, Mickey Gall. So, I mean, the loss to Garimbo is not a good look. And if you're losing to Garimbo, I don't see how you're not losing to Soriano here, right? I really like Bramimaj, and it might be one of those, I don't know, man. It's like, is Soriano at his peak because he knocked out Medic in 1 second, when Medic always gets knocked out in the first round, and then he beat Veretennikov, who's got no gas tank, and did they even fight the other week? Yeah, he beat Nico Price, so it's just like, I mean, maybe that ages a little bit better, but it was straight takedown. If you're really going to be able to take down Bramimaj, I don't know. Also, another thing is, like, he has been finished before. I think the weight cut doesn't necessarily do him a lot of justice, but I don't think he's a middleweight by any stretch of the means. So it could be a case where this one's going back and forth. I don't know. I'm on Soriano here. I'm a big fan. That Medic fight, made me believe that. He's got good gas tank, good cardio, and I think kind of Bramimaj is on, like, he's fighting even more trash cans. Losses to Court McGee, Max Griffin. I just think Soriano's better than Max Griffin, So I think Soriano, 3rd round / decision. I think he can use the takedowns. I think he can do enough damage on the feet, do enough control time, and I think Bramimaj has to get him out there with a finish. Like, I really think that's kind of the case. From everything I've really watched from him, if it goes later in the fight, he's definitely not looking good. And if he's getting a finish, it's going early. So, you like Bramimaj, I think he could get the finish here. I think he could blitzkrieg Soriano because he tends to stand in there and bang. And if he can get, guillotine choke, he's going to come in there for. This one could go back and forth, honestly. This one is one of the hardest ones for me to even predict this week. I've been on Bramimaj a lot, and I just think it's like one of those things. It's like, do you just keep rocking the train? It's one super 50-50, and I was on Soriano. I might even just do the reversal and just take my guy Bramimaj just because he's just been on fire for me, and just pray that it doesn't, he just finds a finish here. But I definitely could see Soriano fighting pretty well. Has a good gas tank, has good cardio, has good takedown and strike. He's a bit of everything. Where I think Bramimaj is more of a one-trick pony where he's going to come in there. So I'm going to go Bramimaj. I think he actually is a better grappler, too. I think I'd take the one guy that does something better than the other guy that does all-around stuff. And it could be one of those where this is like a lesson fight, but I'm going to go Bramimaj. We're going to keep rolling with him. Next up, women's bantamweight, Nora Cornholey, 9-3 coming off the loss. Jocelyn Edwards, 16-6 coming off the win. And, yeah, if you watch Nora Cornhole's last fight against Carol Hossa, you can never really want to pick her to win. Now, if she beats Edwards here, I'll just be super salty and sad, but I just think Edwards is a way better fighter, a way better athlete, and I just think Cornhole just doesn't have that dog in her that Edwards does, And this is a rematch, too. I'm going to give the rematch to Edwards. I think she's gotten way better. At that last performance, I don't know if Hossa, I think that actually Hossa missed weight. I actually need to go look that up because I think that was something of the situation where they were like, it was a bantamweight, and I think they weighed in at featherweight. And I would have never have picked that if that fight's not like a catch weight. It says 136. But man, I don't know. Maybe I was just missing something, but I don't know how you can pick Cornhole there. I like Edwards all day. I don't know if she gets to win, but I like Edwards by decision. I think both these girls are super tough, and I think Edwards is just going to be a better fighter. Next up, flyweight, Aiden Correa versus Luis Gurriel. 11-3 Correa versus 10-2 Gurriel, and we've lost with Gurriel, so it might be. Is this a Correa spot? I have no idea. I have to assume so. The Gurriel did not look good at all. I don't know how anybody can actually ever pick him to win a fight if you like picked on him and like rooted for him, and you're just like, oh man, my guy's got destroyed by Ode Osborne and Jesus Aguilar. Yeah, I got Coria here. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I just got no faith in Guriel. I just don't think he's actually like a UFC caliber fighter, and I think he might have missed weight in one of those fights too, and he still lost. I think I was super excited about that. I'm like, oh, the cheater's gonna get his freaking weight, and yeah, no, he got steamrolled. So it's one of those things where it's just like, you can't pick a guy. I might even lost twice with him. But yeah, we're gonna go. Coria. Keep it short and sweet. Let's go, baby. Then one of his opponents, Ode Osborne, flyweight against Aldira Erdis, not the actor. Osborne 13-9, won no contest against 11-1 Erdis. Iridis. I like Osborne here, honestly. He looked really good in his last fight out against Steve Urseg. I picked Urseg, bet on Urseg, and I didn't think he actually won. I thought we got gifted a win there. Besides that, I don't, he's fighting some pretty decent fighters. Lazy Boy, Almabayev, Filio, Charles Johnson, beat Johnson. So, I like Osborne here. I think Osborne's in a great spot. I think he's a super experienced fighter. I think he's really fast for the division. I think the cut's not going to be too bad for him. Unless this guy comes in here and just straight takes him down, which is not necessarily his game. And he lost to Joseph Morales. I like Osborne here a lot. I think he's in a great value spot. I think he's in a great. I just think he's a really good fighter, and I think he has been knocked out much. But I just think he's a way better fighter than the guys that he's been knocked out of. Back in the day, Cop, Nam. You know what I mean? Even the chokes are those guys. Not they're good grapplers. So I think he's really, I thought he looked pretty decent against Lazy Boy. I thought he beat Urseg, he beat Guriel. I think he'll beat this guy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. One of my more confident picks of the week is Ode Osborne here. Next up, welterweight bout, Chidi Njokuani versus Carlos Leal. Njokuani 25-11 versus Leal 22-7. Leal coming off that knockout loss to home dude, Slaklavov, and we got Njokuani lost to Jake Matthews off the rear naked choke. And I got Njokuani here. Leal's got negative striking defense, right? Like, I just think Njokuani's got such length and such a problem where he's just going to be able to hit that head of Leal, like, all the time. My man it just sits on, it's just, I want to pick Leal. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I really want to. I really think he's got a chance to put his lights out. I don't know, like, if he's on the juice right now, because, like, you just got to know that the man is juiced up out of his mind over there sometimes. But, yeah, that was a Fakardinov fight that he got robbed against. I just think the youth, the athleticism could be there, but, man, I can't pick this guy's head just not getting pummeled and in the clinch, just getting put out like that, one tapped by Saklavov. It's just not good. It just takes one bad elbow and you're just cut open, destroyed. So I like Njokuani here, money line. I think you can pummel him over 2-3 rounds, make it probably like second, third round finish maybe. But yeah, I like Njokuani here. Kind of a little underdog streak in the middle of the card. Next up, middleweight bout, Zach Reese coming off a win 10-2 versus Michel Pereira 31-14, coming off the loss to Kyle Dawkins. And same kind of thing is like, this guy Pereira was the scariest deal in the middleweight division, and then Fluffy Hernandez just pummels him, and he's not been the same. Boy, oh boy, I think Zach Reese can get a win here too. This is another spot where I like an underdog, and I like Zach Reese here. I think he's pretty tough. His losses are to Bukoyev and Cody Brundage in his UFC debut, and he pulled guard in Brundage, so I kind of forgive him in that one. And Bukoyev is, I don't know, maybe just a tough. It's kind of similar to Pereira in a way, but I just can't trust Pereira, dude. This is the same kind of thing. Is like, if you're gonna, like, I've lost some bread on this guy. Like, this guy just looked terrible. No gas tank. Where did this guy? And maybe the guys he fought were just. They're not bad guys, but maybe we just overvalued them. Patoria, welterweight fighting at middleweight. Olazechek, welterweight, right? Or middleweight, but no grapple. Petrosky. Like, we overvalued some of these wins. Andre Filio couldn't even finish him. Ponzinibbio, Nico Price, Chaos Williams. Like, I think this is a Zach Reese spot. It's another spot where I really like some underdogs this week, and Zach Reese is I think one of the spots I like. I just can't pick Pereira. No faith, no belief. A little bit older, just Now he's 32. I thought this guy had a chance to fight for the belt. Yeah, Zach Reese here. I think it could be a little bit longer. Zach Reese, even by decision, but I just think this will be a stand-up fight, and I just think he'll just be better. He's just hungrier. Like, that's what you got to think. I don't care how many losses. He's just going to be hungry. I just believe in the hunger. Jacoby Smith versus Josiah Harrell. I didn't have this one on the. But I guess this is probably Jacoby Smith. I think he's coming in on short notice, or Harrell's coming in on short notice against Khabib that we were talking about earlier. So yeah, probably Jacoby Smith is minus 300. So it looks like Harrell's actually can hold his own. Line's not blown out of the water, and I'm not super confident in this fight. I'll probably just say we'll pick Jacoby Smith. I think he's got a good contest to victory, but I think this Harrell guy might be way tougher than we give him a little credit to. So I think this could be a very even fight. I think this could go to decision, and I think Harrell by decision might actually play out. We'll see how this one goes. I'm really excited about this fight. I didn't know this one was happening. I don't really have much to say about it. Official pick will be Jacoby Smith just because he was the bread man for us earlier with his finish, but I think Josiah Harrell's don't sleep on him here. And if you can see some line movement, I think it might be, once people start just kind of realizing it's probably more of an even fight. Yeah, this one could go back and forth. Not too much more to say about that. Next up, Spivak versus Ante D'Elia. Spivak 17-6 coming off a loss. D'Elia 26-7 coming off the eye poke win. Dude, I don't even know what to say. I just got to pick Ante D'Elia. He's just gonna just recover. He just got caught. Karma caught him in the behind against Waldo. And Waldo's a great fighter, but yeah, I think he should finish Spivak. If you could finish Tybura in first round, I think you should be able to put out Spivak in the first round. You should be able to grapple and contest like that. If you're getting finished by Spivak, and then there's really we got nothing left to say in the heavyweight division, which makes me think that's totally a possibility, is getting absolutely flatlined by Sergey Spivak. But I got to believe in my boy D'Elia here, because I believed in him against Waldo, but I picked Waldo. I did believe in him, and I don't know what to think if I don't know. It's just some irony in those back-to-back weeks. The UFC has been wild for the last 9 months or something. 9 months of just straight wild stuff for the UFC, and we're getting ramped back up here. So let's see what happens. I think we restore a little bit of order right now. I got Ante D'Elia. I think he knocks out Spivak first round. I just think Spivak is a one-trick pony, and if you don't really get that trick, or if the guy's not worse or older or slower, he's just not that good, man. Like, if you're losing to Almeida, like, yeah, I got you, bro. Ante D'Elia. Next up, featherweight bout. We got Dan Ige versus Mel Costa. Ige 19-10 coming off a loss. Mel Costa 25-7 coming off a win. Like a 1 month fight win, so good recovery. Oh, he did fight Morgan. Oh, that head kick against Morgan. Yeah, that was easy money. After Orosa. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that one, too. Yeah, Mel Costa here. 3/decision. I think Dan Ige makes it really close. I think it becomes like a... Dude, Pitbull hasn't fought in a while, too, man. He was supposed to fight on that card, and he ain't been around since, bro. Crazy for old guys not to be getting fights sooner than later. Dan Ige lost to Pitbull. He took him down. No takedowns will be taken by Costa. This will be straight. Straight. Yeah, I got Mel Costa here. I think he's just going to beat him up for 15 minutes. 3/decision, Mel Costa. Just one of those spots where I just think he's a way better fighter. He's got a nice advantage, and I just don't think Dan Ige is the same kind of guy that, like, you're going to remember knocking out Damon Jackson, Andre Feely. Like, this Mel Costa is way better than those guys. So maybe Dan Ige wins by decision, but, like, I can't believe in him doing that. Like, yeah, he's lost to some dogs. Pitbull, Murphy, Lopes, Mitchell, Ilavoyev, Emmett, Zombie, Qatar, but those are losses. I think he puts another one on the book here. Then you go get a nice one, knock him out. Let's go Mel Costa. 2 fights left. Welterweight bout. Jeff Steele Neal versus Uruz Medic. Neal 16-7 coming off the loss to Prates. 12-3 Medic coming off a win. But again, Medic gets knocked down in the first round every one of his fights. So I'm gonna just believe in Jeff Neal KO round 1. even though Medic finished Sakharov, I think he still got knocked down in round 1. But I do worry I would just pick this fight to end in round 1 KO, honestly. Jeff Neal's going to come in there just throwing absolute bombs and just pray he doesn't get hit, which I do think he can actually get a hit and finish Medic. I really do. He gets hit in every one of his fights. But that being said, he does come back. He's pretty tough, so I don't know. I hate picking this fight too because it's one where like I'm picking Jeff Neal. I've picked Jeff Neal against Ian Gary. I got to pick Jeff Neal against Urus Medic. You know, that's really just what it comes down to. If I have the confidence to think that he's actually a better fighter against Machado Gary, which was, I mean, split decision, whatever you want to say. Like, he's fought Shavkat, like, he's fought some freaking gangsters. And like you said, I think he's just, Jeff Steele Neal is just going to, Medic is going to hit him, and Medic is going to fall down, and then Jeff Neal is just going to finish him. So, right, Jeff Neal, let's go, baby. Last up, middleweight bout, Sean Strickland, 29-7 versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, 15-2. 1 no contest. Yeah, I don't know how anybody can pick Strickland here. Fluffy Hernandez, I really worry about Strickland. I don't know if he'll get finished. I don't know if he's ever really been finished like that. He has by, you know, yeah, I think you could see, I would like Hernandez by sub here. I think he's got 25 minutes to work here. Strickland kind of probably caught I think he caught very fortunate middleweight title shot, kind of like I think Sugar Show is way better of a talent wise, but just, you know, similar trajectories in a way. I just think you catch a title shot and, you know, you can't get it back, and the Fluffy is the next batch. You only get one time, man. Sometimes that's got to be good enough for some guys, and I think Strickland's there, dude. 34, some wars. The only thing I'll say is if Fluffy can't take down Strickland, like, it could be a long day. But that being said, I don't know how you can ever pick against Fluffy at this point in his career. I haven't seen nothing. Lost to Kevin Holland, knee to the body, ground and pound. I want to go watch that back 6 years ago. It was his last loss. Yeah. I wish he got to fight DeRitter, but obviously he'd blow through DeRitter in 5 rounds. He's got such a gas tank. So I think Fluffy 4-5 decision, but I could see Strickland out there early as well. If he gets caught sub early 1-2-3. I think there's a lot of potential here for some favorites to really come home, a lot of potential for some underdogs to come home, and a lot of stuff in between, a lot of finishes, a lot of decisions. Super exciting card off a week off. I mean, I just want to see guys fight and not talk, right? Like, everybody's going to talk about who's going to call out this, that, and the other. And it's just like we kind of forget the point of, like, this is in the business is we got to separate the Ultimate Fighting Championship versus, like, mixed martial arts competition, right? And, you know, it's a business. It's very complicated, and that's why I think we get into this point as fans and people that talk about it and watch it. It's like, all right, are we watching the Ultimate Fighting Championship, or are we watching a mixed martial arts competition? Watching the Ultimate Fighting Championship, you know, like back in the day, Fluffy Hernandez runs through Sean Strickland 25, you know, 1 round. You know, but I think if we watch a mixed martial arts competition, I think Sean Strickland can win. I think he can negate rounds. I think he can do a lot of damage, be very difficult to take down, and win points, win rounds. So that's why I do think he is a live dog, and it's something I don't want to undervalue as somebody that I've seen. You know, he has been to the top and knows what it takes, but all it takes is a little frustration and a crack in the jaw, and the fight's totally different. So, and if no takedowns are available to Fluffy rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, you have to say it's advantage Strickland. So something like that is always possible in the fight game. But yeah, I'm picking Fluffy Hernandez. I got Fluffy by 2nd round sub. Let's go, baby. Do a quick little recap. And beyond watching these fights, we got Carly Judice early on, Yadier Diwali, we got Jean-Paul, we got Brahimaj, Jocelyn Edwards, Aldin Correa, Ode Osborne, Chideo Dequane, Zach Reese, Jacoby Smith, Ante D'Elia, Mel Costa, Jeff Neal, and Fluffy Hernandez. Leave your picks in the comment section. 100% picks correct. I'll give you $100. Like, comment, subscribe on the video if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, making it this far. Take care of yourselves, your friends, and your family. Peace and love, everybody.